asking God the wrong question.
You hurt your back when your appendix ruptured and you got the pinched nerve in your back. And now we're talking about maybe you having to have back surgery at 90
Yeah.
years old. And I'm just like, God, why is my grandfather, of all people, at 90 years old, having to go through this pain when he has lived his life teaching about the manifestation of healing? Why won't you heal him right now?
He
It's
did
hard.
2,000 years ago.
So then why are you still in pain? It's hard. I'm struggling a little bit and it's hard for me to admit that, but it's frustrating for me to watch you. Help me. It's hard to watch you.
That was the granddaughter of Kenneth Copeland. And that video is amazing coming from her. And I titled this, She's Asking God the Wrong Question. And maybe I should have titled this, You're addressing your grandfather with the wrong question. The question should be, why isn't her grandfather's faith healing him? Now, in order to understand that, and I do realize sometimes from new generations to new generations, you may not really understand who Kenneth Copeland is. So here's a brief synopsis. Kenneth Copeland is the last surviving architect of the Word of Faith movement. Came out in the late 60s. Now, back then, there were the founder basically was Kenneth Hagin, and then Kenneth Copeland. He was a follower of Kenneth Hagin. John Osteen, who is Joel Osteen's father. There was a man named Charles Capps, and also Frederick Price. Now, all but Kenneth Copeland, they've all deceased. But they were the architects of the Word of Faith movement, which stressed or emphasized the power or force of faith, and then also prosperity and healing. Basically, they said, according to the Bible, as a child of God, you have unlimited power, unlimited wealth, because you are a child of God. That's a quick synopsis there. Kenneth Copeland developed the theology along with the others, John Osteen, Charles Capps, Fred Price, and then, of course, who they affectionately referred to as Daddy Kagan. But their emphasis on faith, and then they told their followers that if they follow their teaching, they would have unlimited health and wealth. Kenneth Copeland himself taught the force of faith, the force of words, confession. He taught that you could have the same kind of faith, meaning the force or power of faith, that God himself used when he created the world in Genesis 1. And he spoke the word. Well, spoke the word, and then the universe and the world came into existence. Now, he taught this. So when she asks now, why aren't you getting healed? Why isn't God healing you? Wrong question. She should be asking, why isn't your faith working? Why isn't, and by the way, another thing they taught, that faith could be so powerful that it would be like a shield around them, that sickness and disease won't even come near them. It'll like bounce off of their shield of faith. So again, the real question is, how come his faith isn't working? How come his force of faith isn't repelling the sickness, isn't driving out the back pain that he's experiencing? Here's the truth of the matter. None of the word of faith teaching worked, as evidenced by his now suffering. They all died of some kind of illness. And even now, Kenneth Copeland is suffering, according to his granddaughter's report, back pain that may require surgery, Kenneth Copeland's wife is reportedly suffering from dementia. So why isn't their faith working?